Hi, so now you've got your microscope all set up for your watch repairs. You need a camera to take stills and video. I'm going to put this one through its paces, so stay with me to find out if it's any good. I'm Bob Walder, and this is Fascinating Time Machines. So part of me wanting to get the microscope, the trinocular microscope, is so that I can give you guys a close-up and overhead view of the movement, of what I'm doing on the movement, especially when it comes to oiling and working with some of the more delicate parts like the hairspring or the pallet fork. To do that, we need to install a camera on this mount up here, and I chose this one. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Kasai, probably Kasai. It's a 4K camera. It boasts 8x magnification, but that's all digital, so we're not going to touch that. We don't need that. All the magnification we need is in the microscope itself. It does have a remote control, so without touching the microscope, you can start and stop video. And it is a C-mount, and all of those specs are pretty standard across all of the 4K microscope cameras that you might find on Amazon or Temu or AliExpress. But there is one spec that I think you should look for when you're searching for the camera, and that is the sensor. They pretty much all use the same Sony 1/1.8 inch sensor, but this one has the newer IMX678, and that's better dynamic range, so better in low light. You won't get the highlights as washed out, the shadows as blocked in as with the previous sensor. So do look out for that when you're doing your research and you're searching for a microscope camera. You're looking for the Sony IMX678. I will leave a link to this one down in the description. I paid for it with my own money, so you're going to get an honest review. Not sponsored by anyone and don't have Amazon affiliate links. So if you just want to skip over the research and go with the one I got here, I'll leave the link for you. So what do you get? It's got an instruction book. It has an HDMI cable. It has a power supply, and that is a USB-A, so it also has a USB-A to USB-C cable. And then, of course, we have the camera itself. So that's everything. We can get rid of the box. It has a USB-C and a USB-A port for, I'm assuming they're both for power. I know the USB-C is for sure. Has a micro SD card slot, and you can see I've already put one in there. It is not included with the device, and one restriction that you have to be aware of is it's restricted to a max of 32 gig, which is a little odd given the fact that we're doing 4K, but it is what it is. And that restriction seems to be common across all of the devices that I've seen. And it also has an HDMI out port. Then along the bottom it has 3 buttons. Leftmost button will trigger video capture, rightmost button triggers a still capture, and then when you're in the menu, which you get in using this little push wheel, it's actually push and a rocker left and right. The left and right are actually the zoom in for the 8 times zoom, which, as I say, we don't need that. We're not going to be using that. But once you're in the menu, these buttons also serve as the up, down, and OK button. So that's pretty much it. It has a C mount, which you can see, and you can also see the Sony sensor in there too. So first problem when you get this out of the box, and this is in no way peculiar to this particular camera, they're all the same, and that is that there's actually no way to attach that to your microscope. I did, if you were here for the video on the setup of the microscope itself, you'll remember that I told you about this little device that they provide with the microscope. And the intention of this is that's the 38mm mount that fits into the top of the microscope, and then you can actually extend this up and down, so you're moving the camera closer and further away from the lens in the microscope in order to focus the image. More on that later. But the problem is the top is not threaded, so there's no way to actually attach this to it, and it won't slide over it. This basically needs to be threaded, and it's not. I have seen people MacGyver this and actually kind of tape it on there somehow, but that's not a great solution. It's going to let light in. Probably at some point it will give way. There's no guarantee that it's going to be perfectly parallel to the lens in the microscope, so your image quality will suffer, and all around just a bad idea. And as I said, in the microscope setup, this is basically useless. You actually need some additional devices to get this attached, and this is one such device. It's basically a C mount to a 38mm adapter. It has a 0.35x magnification, and why that is necessary is beyond the scope of this particular video, which we're just reviewing the camera. But I will do another video on how to actually set these things up and get everything in focus and get the images matched between what you see in the eyepiece and what you see on the camera. But for now, you will just need this 0.35x adapter. As I say, it's a C mount, which is a 25mm mount, a C mount to 38mm adapter, and it's not empty. It does have a lens in there, and you can turn it and focus it. Rather than just screw this straight in, we do actually need one other piece of hardware, and it is this. And it's just a spacer, 5mm spacer. And basically we screw that onto the C-mount side of our little converter, magnifier, whatever you want to call it, and then that will screw into the C-mount on the camera itself. So that's it. I will leave links to these also in the description. And as I say, in my next video, I will actually explain why these are needed and how to get everything set up. Now we have that all put together. We put that into the 38mm connector on the microscope. A little set screw on the microscope, which we need to set to keep that in place. And that's it. The camera's actually installed. Physically, that is. Now we have to get it going. Oh, excuse me while I plug that in. Run this over the top and plug that Type-C into the camera. You can't see it, but there's actually the little blue light, power light has come on. I would recommend that you acquire an external HDMI monitor and actually have that set up. I'm gonna plug this in to here, and I have a little monitor here. Which has its HDMI import. And power. So I've had this monitor a while and I'm not sure if it's still available. If it is, I will leave a link again down in the description. If not, I'll find something that's very similar to this and leave a link to that, but obviously you can also do your own research. Okay, we have the movement nicely in focus, but this is not. And that's where this little adapter comes in. And as you can see, as we turn that, it brings that nicely into focus. Hopefully you can see that. So if you remember from the previous video when I set the microscope up, I set it up to be what's called parfocal. That basically means it's gonna be, if you're all the way zoomed out and you get it focused, then when you zoom all the way in, it should stay in focus. I'm very impressed with this camera. You can pay a lot more. I mean, certainly if you buy a camera from Microscope, it will cost you a lot more than $200. You can also get it cheaper. There are versions of this on Temu, AliExpress for a little less, but not a whole lot less. I found actually that the price was fairly uniform across all the suppliers. And again, just as with the microscope, I was a little wary of having this shipped from China, just in case it arrived with a fault and I had to ship it all the way back. So much prefer Amazon for that, and willing to pay the extra $30. I think the cheapest I saw this on AliExpress was around about $170, and this cost me $200 on Amazon. Again, there's not, most of the decent cameras are around that price or more expensive for the money. Therefore, I would say this is outstanding value for money. I love the fact that it has the new Sony sensor, so the dynamic range is awesome. I think the quality is great. I think it does everything that you need. The only thing it doesn't have is an on-off switch, so and it does get pretty warm, and so I tend not to want to leave it on when I'm not here. But that's, I mean, I just unplug the power supply, or I can easily get a little USB-C to C inline switch and put that up here. So there you have it, the Kasai, however you want to pronounce it, 4K microscope camera. It does the job, and it does so at a very reasonable price, in my opinion. As I say, actually getting the right adapters for this, and why you need them, and why we couldn't quite get it into focus with this adapter. I'm going to go through all of that in my next video. It's something I've seen a lot of people having trouble with, just as with actually getting the microscope itself set up to be perfectly parfocal. That takes some time and effort. It's the same thing with the camera. You need to purchase a little bit of extra hardware to make it work. The other thing that you may have noticed is that's as far out as we can zoom. Hopefully you can see that, and you can see we're just cutting off the top and bottom of that movement. In the microscope, I have the entire watch in there with space around it. So again, part of the same problem. Why is the image on the screen or in the camera not quite the same as what you're seeing in the eyepieces? Again, we'll cover all that in my next video. So if you're interested in this stuff, if you're interested in learning how to set up the camera on the microscope, subscribe, like, and hit that little bell so you know when it's published. And I'll see you next time.